Greetings, thanks for stopping by. My name is Wayne and I am an alcoholic in recovery. I have 31 months sobriety. I just wanted to talk about the rehab I went to. I know some people are a bit anxious about going to rehab, so I'm hoping this will inspire people, because I know it's hard to go away somewhere for 6 months, especially if you've got a family, to go away for such a long time. But it is beneficial. It can be hard, but it's well worth it. So the obvious thing is you don't get your phone. They take your phone off you as soon as you get there. And I didn't have my phone for 6 months, which wasn't a bad thing, but it was hard at first to get used to not having a phone. But you'll find that's the case in any rehab or detox place. They take your phone. So there are job roles there, like the kitchen, meetings manager, someone that deals with all the sanctions, and there was a chief peer. Well, I was chief peer for a month, but I think I got sacked because I'm not really a leader. Lasted a month. So the program, there was three stages. You had the yellow badge, green, amber, and red. So I'm wearing the red one because I'm wearing it because I've somewhere to clip my microphone. But we had to wear these at all times. This is a red one, the last one. We had to wear them at all times unless you're in your bedroom. Otherwise, you got a written sanction. There was rotas for everything: cleaning, cooking. 2 guys would cook each day. What else we wrote? There's rotas for everything. There's cleaning every morning, Monday to Friday. I think it's 6:30, or was it 7? No, it's after breakfast, about 7:30. So Monday to Friday you're cleaning. Your rotas would change each week for a different area. There was a payphone in there, and you couldn't use the payphone until you got to a green badge, the second one. Then you get your phone privileges, and you'd only allowed like 2 calls a week, and only 20 minutes per call. And when you get a green badge, you get town visit privilege, so you weren't allowed out at all unless you're going on a town visit or a walk on a Sunday, like a group walk. So the town visit, yeah, that was a big thing. You kind of look forward to that because it's the only time you get out. And when you come back, you're only allowed £5 worth of snacks, like chocolate or sweets or crisps. You couldn't spend any more than 5. So part of the program was you had to write a life story. You had to write your life story, and I think mine was 26 A4 pages. Not once, but twice. And then you have to read it out in front of everybody. And then the guy who ran the program, one day, on a whole day, he'd be at the whiteboard and he'd be basically telling you why you're an addict because of what happened in childhood, because it was ACA based. If you don't know what ACA is, Google it. Adult children of alcoholic and dysfunctional families. And everybody there, no word of a lie, everyone there had issues from their childhood. Yeah, so encounters, if you did something you shouldn't have, like even like leaving a mug somewhere and walking off and just leaving it, someone will be writing your sanction. Like you have to do like a 50-word poem. This other thing is crazy, and sometimes you have to wear a sign around your neck for the whole day. It's almost like borderline humiliation, human rights stuff going on. So we had this thing called encounters once a week, where you had to pull up people about their behaviour, like negative trait behaviour stuff, and you had to sit in a circle every Tuesday. And you had to read them out to the person what it is you're encountering them for, and I hated it. It was awful it was, every week for 8 months. And mine was always too quiet, too shy, too timid. That was pretty much my ones all the way through the whole program. So when I got there was 11 other guys there, which I found really hard, being autistic and hard being around people. But I did it. I was determined. It was really uncomfortable for me. The guys the numbers would go up and down all the time. People would leave, people would come. So there was a couple of guys who came straight from prison. They got like an agreement, what they call it, a license. If they go to the rehab and complete the program, that they would get released. And two guys, this is no word of a lie, two guys actually decided to go back to prison because it was easier than being there. They said, no, I'm going back to prison. They'd rather stay in prison. So some of the rules, excuse me reading off, I've got to read them off my notes. Some rules, you couldn't be late for anything, you had to be dead on time. If you even a second late, you get written sanction. Slippers and shoes have to be worn in certain areas, otherwise you're in trouble. When you're cooking, the apron you could only wear in the kitchen. If you walked out of the kitchen wearing your apron, yeah, sanction. You couldn't leave your cups, plates, or any belongings. You can't leave them in a room and walk out. It's funny because when we had a cup with tea in it, you'd have to say to someone, "Can you watch my cup?" If you walk out of the room, and they say, "Yeah," and then you're okay, you're covered. So phone calls only after 6 p.m. And yeah, I've already said 20-minute phone call. Washing you can only do once a week, and there's a certain amount of time. I think there's a 2-hour window to get it washed and dried. Otherwise, you got to wait another week. And if you smoked, you'd only allowed a certain amount of tobacco. Mine was 50 grams a week. Or if you smoked cigarettes, I can't remember how many cigarettes. But yeah, you would only allowed a certain amount. Even if you had the money, you're not allowed. And they would buy it for you and bring it in every week. Yeah, I already mentioned town visit. Town visit was once a week. But you had to get the green badge to get that. And you went to town for the day. Well, for a few hours, it wasn't even a whole day. So you could only watch TV weekends, Friday night, Saturday night and Sunday. But each person could pick a DVD. No, sorry, 2 DVDs, and you could only watch those. You couldn't watch any others, and the DVDs were all pre-selected by the office, so you weren't allowed any horrors or violent or treated like children. You couldn't have a shower after 9:30 p.m. or before 6:30 a.m. Even when it was meal times, if you turned up late for your meal, you'd get a sanction for that as well. The timing was, it didn't really affect me that much because I love my routines, so I didn't really struggle with that. And during my time there, towards the end as well, I didn't really get hardly any sanctions. And people were saying, why aren't you getting many sanctions? I said, well, because I learned from getting them the first time, and I'm good with routines, so I didn't really struggle with that. I just struggled with the people around me. But the first few months went really slow, but as it got to about four or 5 months, the time went pretty quick. But the timing was weird. The concept of time was strange. So when I first went in, I shared a room with a guy for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and then I got my own room. Here's a picture of the room. It was a nice little room. It had an ensuite shower room, which was pretty cool. Yeah, I loved that room. So I was in there for most of my time there. But the group sessions were good. But the guy running it, he was quite extreme with his views, and he kind of put everyone in the same box, where in reality we all had different issues. But he's very extreme. You mustn't do this, you mustn't do that. But I did learn a lot. I did learn a lot about addiction, alcoholism. It was good. I did get an opportunity to go to a rehab in Blackpool quite a few years ago, but I didn't. I was still married then, and I didn't want to go away for 6 months. So if anyone out there is thinking, "Oh no, I can't do it," I know how you feel. But this is something you got to do for yourself. You can't do it for someone else. It won't work. You have to do it for yourself. And you just have to do it. It's hard. But it gives you a really, really good foundation for a long-term sobriety. And I know you get these 28-day rehabs, but I don't think that's long enough. I think 6 months minimum is a good amount of time. Yeah, so I moved into this house 23rd of March 2023, and I'm still here in my crib, my third floor penthouse suite. But it's a nice room, and the worst bit is I've got a single bed. I can't stand single beds. It's like I feel like a child. But that's the rules. You can't have a double bed. So I'll be moving out in another year. April 2026 is the plan. So I would have been here 3 years and a month by then. That's a long time. So if you're thinking of going to a rehab, I would consider it. Even though it's hard, especially if you've got a family, it is hard. But it's the best thing I did. So even in this house, there's still rules. There's a curfew 10:30. You've got to be by 10:30 p.m. Even if you have got years to priority, you still got to follow rules. We have to do cleaning rota here. We have to do 2 morning meetings a week where there's two houses. There's another house up the road. There's 3 guys in there. So we have 2 meetings a week. And I do AA Zoom meetings. I don't do physical meetings because of my autism. It got to a point where I just couldn't do it. So I plan to do some videos on alcoholism. Even if I can just help one person, that'd be good. So I plan to do some videos on alcoholism and how I did it and how I'm still sober. So if this topic is for you, then please subscribe, and I'll be doing some more videos. If you found this video helpful in any way, then give us a like and give us a comment. I always reply to every comment. Obviously, if I get millions of comments further on down the line, I don't know, but yeah, my dreams. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.